Good morning, Dharma brothers and sisters. Nice to meet you again online. And today we still short Ngondro. And before the start, there are some questions. Maybe I will try to answer the questions. Oh yes, this one question is about when we lessen our voice morning before the Ngondro, like when we can say like a branch of Ngondro. This we omahong jiong ram igli misoni. That's times we visualize that's the essence of faculty become ramik. This is yesterday. This question is the something like one. It's not one. Maybe I can show you this one. The letter may be better to direct. This is a ram. The color should be red. Red ram. Red ram is normally representative the fire. Of course, already I mentioned about it. It's here so we cannot think like a normal fire, ordinary fire, which we are using now for cook, so for burn something. But this fire is the essence of Buddha's, how to say this, how do you say, wisdom or awareness. Anyway, maybe if there are many to think the difficult, just the essence of fire become like this ram. Maybe this is enough. Then another questions about dissolution when you dissolve. But this is I haven't mentioned yet. This is for today. So I will explain slowly according to your question also. Then the one question is when we visualize this field of merit or refugee tree, do we need like vividly image refugee, or this question is it's enough just to have some feeling of there's a presence? Okay, that's a good questions. Generally, of course, as much as vivid, very clear, precise. We say even like when you the deity's eyes, in the eyes we have different colors. These are also normally the perfect way should be very clear. But of course, since we are beginning, we don't have many experience. So it's like impossible to visualize everything's clear. Especially the many deities. We cannot visualize all of them very clear, very precise. It's impossible for us. So as much as we do, then slowly it's surely is getting better. The first is difficult. Why? Because one reason we don't have experience, we don't have habitual tendency for the meditation. Also one reason is we have a lot of thoughts. The thoughts is coming often and often make like obstacle to destroy the visualization. That is also one reason we cannot visualize very clearly. Also, of course, we have sometimes many problems in our life. It makes our mind already like turbulent. How do you say, like something like mixed. So it cannot be very peace and clear, become clear and peace. It's not easy. Until our mind is not like peace, not stable, then the visualization cannot be very clear. So these all is have to come by step through our meditation training. So don't worry, first time it cannot be clear. All deities, even the main deity, which is, for example, in the field of merit, the middle representative, or the root, yes, representative, our root teacher, which is from the Ngöndro Rinpoche. Only this Ngöndro Rinpoche also is not easy to visualize vividly, clearly. That's why in the meditation explanation, they said when you visualize, even I think the word my perfect teacher also said, maybe you cannot visualize all like at the same time. Even one deities is, for example, whole deity's body, clothes, those things cannot. So the methods, what we do, like few minutes, only focus face, this deity's face. Then you change few minutes, maybe it's clothes, it's body, or it's the holder things like maybe Vaja or the like Majushira is this like sword, so on. That is like one by one visualize. That time, for example, if you visualize your deity, first only face, otherwise difficult. That means, it doesn't mean when you visualize the face, your deity, there's no body. No, not like this. The more focus on the face, but body is just imagine, of course, like just imaginely you have there. In the same way, when you visualize many deities as the field of merit, so you visualize the main deity and the others, just you imagine they are surrounded these main deities. But sometimes, of course, you can change your focus. Only lineage, one by one, you focus Chukukunda Zombo. Then it's Longchen Dorji Senpa. Example, this is Longchen Dorji Senpa. Then Tok Garb Dorji, slowly, one by one. This is training our mind. This is also it's possible, and it's not only possible, this is the way of training meditation. Otherwise, of course, it's not easy to visualize at the same time all of them very clearly, vividly. Then another question is about during teaching, you mentioned about practice for 24 hours. Oh yeah, the 24 hours practice, of course, already I told you, if someone say 24 hours continue practice, maybe it's a shock, become shock. How can we practice 24 hours? We need to do activities, work for the life, for the family. And also, of course, we need to have food. We need to eat, drink. Also, of course, we need to sleep, to rest our body, mind. And also we need to activity with the friends. Since we are born in the society, human beings, we need one society, family, friends. So how we can practice 24 hours can be shock. But it's not like that. 24 hours means it's 24 hours you have to practice. You cannot talk and you cannot thought anything. You have to focus one pointedly 24 hours. Not like this. Okay, 24 hours practice means cannot totally forget our practice and cannot go away from our practice, cannot make separate, far from our practice. For example, when we have time, practice, meditate, so I don't need to mention again. But we have many activities for the family during the day. Maybe visit families, friends, for the society. We need those activities. But during that time also, 24 hours practice means sometime, 2 times, you have to try to remember your practice. For example, we are on the holiday, okay? For make enjoy our life. But just someone is there, maybe swimming, or maybe someone is make you cook, make a tea. Sometime, 2 times, you try to remember impermanent. You don't need to sit there, all the postures, right postures, then maybe close your eyes, meditate. Maybe this is not necessary. If your friends are Buddhist practitioner, then it's okay, but it's not often our friends. We have many different friends. You have many different friends. I have also same like you. Many different. Some of them is Buddhist practitioner, some of them not at all. Even they really hate for the practice, religious, the name. Sometimes they Buddhist also say religious, sometimes they say not philosophy. Anyway, however, we have many different sort of the friends. So what we have to do, just you sometime to time think about the impermanent. Think about human life is very precious, cannot waste. And think about the sentient beings have lot of different sufferings, and they don't know how to read off these sufferings. But sometimes just you think once, like 1 second, few seconds. And also when you recite something also is possible. But this is a different way. For example, normally better recite with your voice, clearly, precisely. That is important. But sometimes like this situation we are now mentioning, it's very strange sound look at you. If you recite like a Gonpo, you close eyes and you with the postures, then maybe they think something wrong with your mind. So you don't. That time, if this situation occurs, you don't need to be like this. You just imagine the field of merit in front of you, or like only one Rinpoche, your root teacher's embodiment on all the deities also enough. Then you take refuge, you recite by your mind, mentally recite. Okay, you don't need to move your mouth. You don't need to with the voice out. So just in mind, recite. Nobody knows. This way you practice slowly, one by one. Of course, few minutes. Again, remember just once, 1 second, 2 seconds, maybe so, or in each hour you remember this practice things. This is we called then 24 hours practice. I mean, for the hour level, of course, someone's high level, they have many experience. Those people is special. Those people is really maybe always their minds on the practice, meditate. But this is another level. But we can become like this if we ask ourselves, can we become like this? Yes, of course, if our effort is enough, if our motivation is enough, if our view is enough. That means maybe you have made questions. What's the enough view? Means maybe you already studied and you have something before I mentioned. You have like really confidence something about this is yes like this. There's no change. That's true reality. So this is like not something imagination. Then that is your view. On that view, this, for example, if you say emptiness, this is also view. But emptiness, if you say something like emptiness, maybe it's not enough. You think emptiness. Yes, it's Buddhist, they say the emptiness. Looks like not emptiness, but I'm Buddhist practitioner. I'm pretend Buddhist practitioner, so I have to say emptiness. No, not this is enough. Emptiness is really, you need to something like a confidence what is emptiness. How is empty? That's the important. When you really confidence, it's really, reality is empty. But just to I see something, but it's reality is empty. You have this confidence. That is the view. That is a good view. But it's only you understand the view, the emptiness. Maybe it's not enough. Some people think When you realize the emptiness, then is you realize the emptiness, so you have a high view, something like you have high level. No, only emptiness, understand the emptiness is not enough. You need to have some many experience with emptiness. We cannot separate bodhicitta. That is important. For example, emptiness, almost the signs also, they realize the emptiness. But this is, I think, we cannot say realize emptiness. Maybe they understood the emptiness. Before, when the Buddhists we say emptiness, many people there's laughing. How is emptiness? It's not empty, we can see. They nowadays the scientists through this scientific they also understood the emptiness. For example, just an example. This is a white paper. A white paper. You see this white, colors white. But of course, you know much better than me about the science. Science, they say it's now, there's no color. No color. For example, if you, this is now is this white, we can say everybody is white paper. But when you hide this paper, then they ask this is this paper is white? The science also is they doesn't accept the science. No, there's no color. This white is made by our eyes. When you hide this one, there's no color. It's exactly the same like a Buddhist established the emptiness. They also, Buddhist, maybe the way also different. The way of training or the way of the establishing different. Otherwise, the mean point, the goal, a science also said there's no color exists. Color is made by our eyes. Our eye. A Buddhist also says color does not exist. So finally it's the same. But then for the Buddhists it's a little difficult because we don't have many different this electronic or something for the examines. So through logic, this is the emptiness because of this, because many logics together, then is finally someone really analyze seriously, then they realize emptiness, they understood. But now it's science not like this. They can show proof. They have many different machines, they develop machines. So immediately to understand, easy to understand emptiness also. But they are not realized emptiness. That means it's when you understand emptiness, it's still not Buddhahood, not to something level high. If you have like same as the emptiness level, you have the compassions, those qualities, the other inner qualities. Then you have you can develop your inner qualities, mind qualities. But only you understand outside something, you cannot develop your mind inner qualities. So that is a little bit different way, but it's not our subject here. Sorry, just to waste time some. But anyway, here's what I want to say. That is our this subject is when you meditate something, also is emptiness. We cannot think like it's slowly coming, okay? It's slowly coming. We cannot think this like the field of merit is something like really statue there, exists something there. Or maybe something like drawn on the wall or on paper or like tanka. We cannot think like this. We have to think all is not truly exist. Something like imagination. That is important. So these three, I hope you understand. I tried to my best to the answers. Maybe it's not very clear. So the 24 hours practice is like this way. This is very important for everybody. Keep your in mind. 24 hours practice is just only name, okay? This is just only name. You don't need to say it is 24 hours practice. I'm the practitioner of 24 hours. You don't need to say like this. That means just to try to keep. This is like methods 24 hours practice means the methods to try to not separate a long time from your practice. It's not saying really it's 24 hours you cannot, even like 1 minute we cannot thoughts other things. Or this is one method to that 24 hours. Whenever, each time try to close your practice or emptiness or compassion, generate compassion. Think of the other situation, or maybe impermanent. Impermanence is very important for the Buddhist point of view. Any positive, virtual things, positive things, thinking, saying, body action, whatever, do with your mindfulness, vigilance, try to close your practice. That is a 24 hours practitioner. This also you need to become familiar. First, of course, difficult. But that's times when you have something like strong emotions arise in your mind. That is really important to try rid of this emotion, or you separate, or you can how say you little bit far from this emotion, or you can say like diminish, make little bit small this emotion. This is our job. We cannot follow emotion. We have to try to far away the emotion. That is very important. The first point. Emotions always make problem ourselves. Emotions problem the others. Negative, especially negative emotions. But positive emotions also, if it's strong, this can be negative. I mean, not very good. Emotion. Some like positive emotion or something like feeling interest and joy. This is, yes, we need. But it's too much. Because too much emotion, even positive, too much emotion is come from or by like selfish yourself. So this can be also negative. But negative emotions, since we are practitioners, of course not easy, but we have to often, time to time, check our mind, examine our mind manually, then how to read off these emotions. Make small than before. That is very important. When you maybe for a while you cannot recognize your emotions, if emotions very strong, then after maybe few minutes, when you recognize your emotion, immediately you have to try to change. But that is our problems. We almost don't work with like this. For example, now easily, that we have experience, almost everybody. Example, if you have problem with your wife, husband, boyfriend, or maybe girlfriend, all we have this experience. So when you have these problems, even you recognize you are in emotion now, very strong. But you don't want to really stop this because you want to still continue. You want to like win. Of course, I want to win. No, maybe you are not thinking. But behind this, you want to win because you said, no, I have a reason. You don't have a reason. You are not true. I'm true. That means you want to win. You are thinking yourself. Maybe sometimes it's possible you are true, the other one's wrong. But that's times normally we have to think, since I'm the practitioner, I know I'm true, the others are wrong, but the others are now is the because of the too much emotion. Now emotions cannot control his or her mind. So this is not the way. It doesn't work with logic. So this is like object of my compassion now. This is the object or the support of my the practice of patience. If you can think immediately, if you can change, then really now your practice result is coming. If you cannot change, even you understand these things, but still you want to, how to say, like become stubborn. Okay, no, I'm the correct. You are wrong. That means you cannot control and you cannot change your mind, even you understand you are in emotions, both of you. So we have to work really the level, or first the important, we have to try to work really with our emotions. That is the main point for me. Main point. When you can little bit relax from your emotions, of course, we cannot really get rid of all the emotions. This is something like we reached higher level. But when you emotions, you can really little bit reduce compared before. And the emotions, when you come in, arise, immediately you recognize. And you can change immediately. That is your practice result. Really, the results come appear. Now you have to rejoice yourself. That's the result also. That make many, how to say, rid of your problems. Get rid of your problems. Like stop your problems. Your sufferings. Surely stop. If your emotion is not grow up, if you can control the other emotions, you can control your mind. That's give many positive in your mind. Of course, influence for others also. But for your mind, always peace, rest, no suffering inside. The place of suffering may be slowly full of the good mind, like compassion. This compassion is more develop, then maybe bodhicitta. So that is the way develop mind practitioners. That is so very important. For me, it's first point. Then slowly, on top of your mind is cannot disturb with your emotions, not really influence emotions, not really follow always emotions. Your mind already something like stable. On top of that, then you meditate peaceful. Generate bodhicitta, then more power, the profound view like emptiness. Then you think more the samsara sufferings, think sentient beings. Then it's very easy to develop your mind because the root there's some our problem is emotions maker. So there's no emotions. No emotion means like rough grow things. It's not small emotions always we have until some level. But there's no many emotions. Then you develop inner qualities. It's very easy. At the moment now, it's not easy. It's difficult. Why? Because our emotion is very strong. We cannot control our mind. Then we don't have place there something like a positive think like compassion, bodhicitta. There's no place because full of emotions. Then we cannot develop inner qualities. It's very difficult. That is our problems. So, little bit blah blah with this true or with or I don't know this the answers, but it's maybe useful. And also this time little bit before I thought maybe short Ngondro, maybe 2 sessions or 3 sessions we can finish. But finally it's not finished. So maybe sometimes I have a little bit of doubt because there's many our student Dharma brothers sisters, they know very well. They know really better than me. Thanks of our Rinpoche. Then if I say something blah 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 blah, maybe I have a little bit doubt. Maybe I make disturb their mind through this waste time. Sometimes I a little bit have doubt this one, and sometimes I'm thinking maybe it's why not? If who have experience, maybe they don't need to come to listen, and maybe some people don't have this experience. Maybe it's helpful. That's why I'm continuing now. So now today we are still in the refuge. We already mentioned about refuge a little bit, like how to the classification, why this some like classification distance, but these are maybe not so important for the study. Yes, for the now these times we are focused about our daily practice, what we need, what we until now we studied, how we keep in mind for daily practice, how we, which is we understood already, we studied how we use in with our daily practice, how we take on path. That is our goal. So maybe it's, many classifications not important. Now this practice which is we need like 24 hours with practice means, for example, if this like visualization, this field of merit or refugee tree, when you sit somewhere, if you have time to visualization, of course, we visualize is above our head. It is the support of our prayers. This we know very well. But it's also not necessary always this like a field of the merit refugee tree or something. Even you, only one day it is your root teacher. That's also enough whenever you sit somewhere. This is like above my head, the like a support of my prayers. I need some prayer support. Then also, when you are going, this is in the word my perfect teacher said, you visualize your deity or your root teacher or whatever. You visualize above your the shoulder, like in the space, right shoulder. Why this right shoulder? In the Buddhist way, when you turn like the circumambulation, always we go right clockway. I think this week said clockway, right way. So we are visualize this our deity or the field of merit above in the sky, in space, above the right shoulder. It is our circumambulating support, something like we are circumambulating them. I think we have to think this way. Then on the same way, normally we drink something, eat something. We always like Tombalame Sanjirin Bochu, something we offer. That time visualization is also we can change, or you can of course your front of your the above your head or front of your in the space you visualize the offer. It's also possible, yes, but also it's possible this all your the deities, or which is the main deities, is your the throat. I think throat. This is you are now you are eating things, drink things is through throat in your stomach. That's why so we visualize our deity, main deity, or whatever you want to practice, visualize in the throat. That is the object of all your offering, your food and drink. Then also when you are sleep, this is already we mentioned about this like 24 hours when we practice. Then what we have to do when we are sleeping, this one. So we visualize in our center of the heart center. This is like we practice the essential to dissolve delusions into the light. Now, in Tibetan, we call this Trulwa Osultaba. Trulwa Osultaba means like, now we have many delusions during the day. We have many thoughts. This is our delusion. This delusion, during these delusions, when you meditate at the night, your root teacher has come to in your heart of center, then slowly become a light. That means you all the delusion is dissolved into this clear light. Now whatever you doing something positive, you saying something positive, all the actions, whenever you are doing, then try to never separate from your clear mental images. This like refugee, deities, a root teacher, any kind. The most important, try to not far away from your good actions, good thinking. A good speech is not something like eloquent. Good speech means like nice, benefit speech, not saying like rude words, not saying something like people don't like. Something like speech make happy the others. That is very important. Then on top of that, you have like confidence to this your object of refuge, which is your root teacher, and surrounded these all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, who all read enlightenment and who is doing benefit for others. That is the refuge visualization. Then you recite Gonpo Semgude Shiksavasan. Gonpo Semgude Shiksavasan, first, maybe it's not important. First, you visualize, try to as much. Vividly, maybe it's for difficult. When you say vividly, we have something maybe other understand. Vividly, then maybe precisely, one by one, if maybe it's possible. But it's not necessary for the beginning. Our level, maybe yes, we use vividly words, but we have to understand as much as we do, visualize, try to develop, means like more and more better than before. Like month by month, year by year, become better try. This is important. Then you focus with like bodhicitta, with your like view emptiness, and focus this refuge tree. Then you recite Gonpo Semgude Shiksavasan. Generally, we recite 3 times, but it's just this is something like an example. Where you can, if you want to, you have time, you 7 times, 10 times, 21 times, 100 times. There's nothing something like problem when you recite too much. There's no too much recite. As much as condition or your circumstance, when you have time, you can recite. If you don't have time, like generally we do 3 times. That's just as much as you can. Then after the end of the session, to conclude the session, then we need to dissolve a dissolution or we need this one. Then when you take this refugee and you visualize like purpley, try to clearly, and you recite the refugee prayers, you have lot of very strong devotion. The cause innumerable, the rays of light. Because of this one, then your rays of light from your deity, the field of merit, then rays is coming to touch you and also the others. Okay, not only you. You you create this refugee, or you visualize the refugee which is now it's a representative. We are say some names like this lineage, these are. But as much as like million deities, like a million and a million Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, full of front of your sky, it's Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. Just imagine. Then with your devotions, then this all the deities come from deities. The lights come. Lights like innumerable. There's a lot of lights. We cannot say this kind of light. Then this is the common refugee deities, and this is a rays touch you and all of you who is now taking refuge with you, all the beings. That time, yesterday, the question is like difficult to visualize. This sounds the question is difficult to visualize when you separate your mind and your body, and something like you are similarly like fly birds into the deities. But this I try to make you a little bit clear. When you visualize those things, you don't need to separate your mind and the body. Totally no. If you separate your mind and body, means then your body is on the ground, or something like you've fallen, then your mind is gone. Something like we died. Not like this. One is not this one. Secondly, when you dissolve, you and all your beings dissolve in the front of your deities, means like dissolve into the refugee or field of merit. That means it's not something like the field of merit, not like a statue, and you is yourself. Like now, if you go like jump or fly to dissolve in the statue, means this is like where the feelings come like accident. Maybe we can jump, but if you jump, there are the field of merit is if like a statue or if like a tanka, then we have touched there, it's like accident. Not like this. You have to visualize first when the rays the coming from the deities, and this rays is touch all beings who is taking refugees. Then through these rays, you like purify all the obscurations. Then your body also become light. Okay, all the beings, the bodies, because all beings obscuration is purified with these rays which is come from the field of merit. Then there's no obscurations. Our body is become is light. Then this light body is dissolved into the field of refugee. That's you have to visualize this way. It's not something like separate your mind. Bodies cannot dissolve, then mind is so dissolved. Not like this. Your mind and your body become like lights, same like lights, or something like not touchable. Of course, you visualize the field of your merit also is not something touchable. This also light. So light dissolve in the light something. That is important. And also, this is like the way of, we are talking about the way of what my perfect teacher. But some of other texts, for example, the Ngöndro also have this, the visualization about this Ngondro preliminary practice. There is he's not mentioned about really flying something. This flying also the way of saying, okay, way of the introduce. It's not really fly like birds with the wings. We don't need that. Just like immediately this touch the lights, then become lights, lights immediately resend or how to say, resend to the deities or went back raised deities, something like this. This Gonpo he mentioned when you get rays of light from the field of merit, this touch all sentient beings. Then all the sentient beings purified their obscurations, and also all the inner qualities, which is like positive things. Maybe something also say like a life force, or maybe something like their merit. All the positive is develop. Then you just rest this positive thinking, developing this you are thinking about, visualize on this. Then just you rest your mind. A little bit different way, what my perfect teacher. But here now we are following what my perfect teacher. This our body become like a light and dissolve into the field of merit, and also at that times our mind in this deity's mind become unified. This inseparable and different, there's no differentiate. That time just you rest on it without any thoughts. As much as you study, this is meditate. This is a meditation. You can say meditate. Or you could say in Dzogchen, practice of tantras, we said this is the how to say like continue meditation your rikpa. Maybe it's not good words, okay, something like this. That is, I think, the answer. I hope you understand more better. So here only precisely again I want to repeat. So you don't need to think you separate your mind in the body. Then body is left there. Mind is jump like a fly birth, then into the like the field of merit. It's not like this. You and all the beings become light, and become light. Light is dissolved in the light of uh, the field of merit. That's the important. So we take a break, 15 minutes.